Evergrande is defaulting on its debt. What does this mean for the markets? As we see, the stock price has been crashing heavily. Just in the year, Evergrande has lost 87%, which is actually crazy. So let's take a deeper dive into Evergrande, see what's happening, see if we should just be avoiding everything in this whole situation. Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today, and today we're talking about Evergrande. It just defaulted on one of its debt payments. So now we have to be like, we gotta open our eyes to see what's happening in the market right now, because this can actually crash it heavily, especially because it has debt payments to other overseas entities, like places like in the US and just different parts of the world. So if they're not able to pay like $8 billion, $10 billion here, like what's gonna happen to the market? So if you've been living under a rock, we know that Evergrande is one of the biggest real estate companies in China right now, and it had over 300 billion in liabilities, which is actually really crazy. And they've just been issuing debt to pay other debt to pay other debt, and that's the big issue with these real estate companies, man. They get all that money up front from all these promising people real estate development, and then they're actually using that money to kind of build real estate. But what if those payments don't come in? What happens? This happens. This whole fiasco happens with Evergrande. The debt-ridden Chinese real estate giant was scheduled to pay 83 million to investors overseas. By the following morning, at least some of these investors had not been paid, according to Reuters and Financial Times. A critical milestone that renewed fears of Evergrande complete collapse. And this is funny because just like the other 2 days or a day ago, they said that, oh, everything is okay, everything is handled, we got some more advisors, but they basically lied, man. Like, Evergrande is still have so much liabilities to pay, they don't even know where to get their money, man. They're gonna have to start divesting some assets to pay this huge amount of coupons and fines and bonds to people. Like, they're gonna have to start negotiating their payments, because 83 million, and that's like their first payment Thursday. They have another payment due very soon. So we have to see what's gonna happen. What is the central government gonna do? Like, is the Chinese government gonna like respond and like jump in? Leave your comment below. Subscribe to my channel. Tell me, what do you think, man? Leave your comments down below and tell me, what do you think about this whole situation? Should we be worried about all the Chinese companies we own? Because you know I own Alibaba, PDD, JD.com, Tencent. I own all those companies. So how is this affecting everything? The terms of the bonds, with face value of nearly 2.3 billion, allow Evergrande's grace period of 30 days to make its payment. So in the context of this set of payments, Evergrande will be default only if it cannot pay out within the grace period. So this is very lucky for Evergrande. They have a 30-day grace period. I guarantee on like day 29, they pay it off, or they actually talk to the people that they have to pay the debt to. Like, that's what's gonna happen, because the central government is like hinting at maybe helping Evergrande, but it wants to punish these companies that are doing bad business, basically. So the central government is gonna want a little like slow letdown of this business. It's not gonna want something like a Lehman's in 2008 in the US with a big huge crash out of nowhere defaulting. It's not gonna want that. It's gonna want something kind of like slow, progressively crashing and getting rid of this company, right? Because we already know the market sentiment against China. Imagine if this company is not able to pay US markets. That's gonna create their market even more than it already has. And China doesn't really want that. They want to be seen as a good foreign place to invest. They're gonna try to change the sentiment soon. In my opinion, they're gonna try to change that sentiment. They're gonna have to, because people are looking at China as like, whoa, we can't invest in this place, and that's why we're seeing all Hong Kong, all the main Chinese companies going down so ferociously, man. Like, it's crazy. So the debt owes another 4.7 million coupon payments to offshore investors next week. Look, it owes another 47.5 next week. So just look at that, man. Like, it has a rope to overcome. So I want to see the type of assets it's gonna get rid of, and if they're gonna get rid of it, man, because You're just gonna have to. Like the whole situation is screwed up, man. And the markets, and you can see the markets are reacting. Like you can see Alibaba, um, Evergrande, like all these different Chinese, like Neo, all these Chinese companies are actually following Evergrande's path. That goes lower, Evergrande goes lower, Alibaba goes lower. So we have a lot of they have a lot of mature debt happening in this Chinese real estate market. So what will the Chinese government do about Evergrande? And this is very key because if the government doesn't insist at all, like this is just gonna be a monumental crash as it has $300 billion in liabilities, but it has like 83 billion. If it sold off everything, I think it has like 83 billion in debt. So we'll see. The last payments prompt the question like, once again, will the Chinese next move be? Although the government has put together a team of accountants and lawyers to examine Evergrande's books, it hasn't announced any impending restructuring of the company's debt. And although China has also periodically injected cash into the banking system, it hasn't said anything about bailing Evergrande out. And that's what Chinese government's doing. I think just like 2-3 days ago, they put $100 billion in liquidity into like this system. So that just kind of show you maybe the government is really preparing in case the worst case scenario and they see markets crashing, they're gonna boom, they're gonna rush through that freaking door, just put as much money liquidity in the system. If the markets start crashing like very, very fast, they have to step in. They can't just let that just whole banking system collapse and all that those billions of dollars just go out the window. They're gonna I don't think people are gonna get all their money. Like whoever has bonds in Evergrande, they're not gonna get all their money. There's no way they're gonna get all their money. They're gonna get like what, 50 cents on the dollar, but at least they get something, right? Instead of just going everything just going to zero. So because they don't want another 2008 crisis. Like that's the last thing China wants for its system because people are already looking down on the system already. So they're not gonna want that huge crash happening again. So look, I want to show you what they owe. I want to show you what they owe because what they owe to like just a regular people, just different entities, like they owe a lot of money and there's a lot of shit to other people. 30 billion Evergrande owes banks, bondholders, and suppliers. Like, holy hell! Imagine just having 30 billion to yourself. You're just hogging that money. You're just pretty much getting those debts and you're just re-injecting it again and again and again, refinancing the debt. Like, looks like a huge cycle. The group has issued more than 6 billion in high-yield wealth management products to an estimated 80,000 retail investors. And that's the issue. The small guys are really getting affected by this whole situation. $6 billion in wealth management products. So people are expecting their money, and now they're not even able to play the little guys. Like that's when the Chinese government is probably gonna help those little guys get homes and help with their wealth management because that's what the government wants, common prosperity. So it's gonna help the little guys. The big guys that already have $30 billion in dollars, they have 400 billion. I don't know if they're gonna help those guys as much, but these little guys, I think they're gonna get help by the government. Tell me what you think. So that's the whole situation with Evergrande. Evergrande is in huge trouble. Is the central government gonna step in and help them out? If not, we're gonna see another market crash, and the crash can be the market crash can be slow or it can be gradual. Who knows what it's gonna be? Or maybe nothing happens, right? That's another possibility. We don't know for sure. So tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe to the video.